Up until about 10 years ago, exercise was about going as fast as I possibly could. And I like studying that because I always felt like, why can't I go faster? And as I've gotten a little older, I've slowed down a little bit, but I still enjoy capturing that feeling of fatigue at all levels in the body, at the level of the muscle especially. Capturing that on a regular basis, to me, that demonstrates the spark that is life. That spark that keeps me going, that I always want to look towards.
My name is Brent Ruby, and I have been at the University of Montana since 1994. My first email was my University of Montana email. I came in and coordinated a lab called the Human Performance Lab for many years, and then we built this research center in 2006. One of the first things we wanted to do when we started studying wildland crews is, the first thing is we've got to identify what the energy demands of this job are. The University of Montana and the questions that we have addressed in fire, we're really one of the only teams in the whole world that chases these firefighters under real life fire conditions.
Studying work physiology and exercise metabolism in western Montana, specifically Missoula, the location of the center allows us to come up with a series of questions that we can study in a comprehensive lab-based scenario, but then also translate the answers that we may have come up with to the population that we're actually studying.
When we work with firefighters, we're either working with them in the lab to address a question, or most often we're chasing them on an actual assignment. We're in the same helicopter with them, we're in the same fire camp with them, we're on the fire line with them often. In our lab, we've always been our own research subjects first. So whenever we do a protocol or develop a new protocol, historically we're the first ones to take the samples from our own muscles and then compare that and reconfigure the protocol as necessary. You really can't be a book knowledge only exercise physiology researcher. You have to put yourself out there and put your muscle in the situation, put your whole body in the environmental situations that athletes and tactical athletes, both in the military and in fire and other agencies, deal with.
So Brent, being a former endurance athlete, is super neat because we get to sometimes run together when we're on a research assignment. And there was this one time we were in Napa, California, running through the vineyards, and he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, we're working right now." And we were just on a regular run, and that was one of the coolest feelings.
I did my first Ironman when I was an undergrad student. When we moved back to Missoula, I started riding and racing again, and then started to get really into it again, and did several other Ironman events. All along, I was sort of infatuated with this idea, why can't I go faster? We took muscle samples from my leg before and after the race, so we could look at changes in the fuels that would shift across that event.
Brent's personality is very contagious. He's larger than life, and he does that in his personal relationships and with research. He's very balanced. He also gives his all with everything.
When all the academic stresses started to pile up, I felt this calling to get out into the workshop or to make something, build something, whatever, and that's never gone away. And so I've done everything from sculpture to woodworking to other pursuits along the way to just satisfy that creative need on that side of my brain. My science benefits very much from that.
He is the most creative intellect that I know. And the way that he teaches students is amazing, because he'll let you fail and then he'll send you oh, hey, this is where you messed up and this is how you can improve on it. He thinks outside of the box. Don't be such a scientist is something that he likes to say.
Being able to leave this door and run around on the mountain or run down the Kim or jump on a paddleboard on the river or be up in Patty Canyon skiing in 10 minutes throughout different parts of the season is life-giving. When students come here and they're exposed to that, it just changes how they approach their academic experience, because it's not then just about classroom, lab. It's classroom, mountain time, lab, classroom, river time, lab. And it just makes the college experience that much more visceral.